Okay, welcome to the Unfiltered Godcast, where we are going to challenge you and make you think a little bit more than you might be comfortable with.
Outside the box,
Just-
shaking your weak foundations with the truth of God, the real foundation, God and Jesus Christ.
welcome. The opinions discussed on this podcast are not fact, and you should do your own research. So I was thinking about the censorship on the internet and how they label things misinformation and fact check things. And what I was correlating it to is how would that work? Like, imagine a person walks into a library and you're like, oh, this book needs to be fact checked. That work of Harry Potter needs to be fact checked. We need to check it for misinformation. How come? Okay, and then I was thinking about it. I was like, oh, movies and shows and stuff. And then I was like, you know what? They came up with the rating systems for all this shit. And we've talked before about an internet filter, which I think would solve a lot of it. You know what I mean? But at the same time,
it's a good idea.
but at the same time, could you imagine someone coming into a library and be like, we need to fact check this book. This book right here, it needs to be fact checked against all other books. But it's a work of fiction.
I don't have to imagine it, man, because I see the left doing it all the time with the book of the Bible, if nothing else, the Christianity fucking origin. They want to fact check that and say that Satan and his fucking home, I don't know what you call it, trans fucking nonsense, he's half animal, half human, half male, half female agenda is more important than Christianity. And their science backs it up because they're delusional and don't understand what science is, but that's the argument I hear all the time with books. That's why they're so after DeSantos. And I have some arguments with him too, but with him burning books, his books are actually pornography and they're very much homosexual in behavior that he's banning from elementary schools. And I don't think you need pornography fucking material of any sort, whether straight or gay, in any kind of school at elementary level or even middle school. High school, I don't think it belongs there either, but it'd be a little more understandable, but that's not where it's at.
Yeah, maybe a college library, but okay, so I did want to touch on I want to touch on what you were just saying as far as so Christians also have been after books, pornographic or descriptive lewd books, basically lewd books that describe sexual acts between people that happen to be gay, and so they say it's okay or whatever, right? Now, this is definitely part of it. But in general, could you imagine like someone walking through well, I guess Barnes & Noble does pick what books are in there, right? They don't have many of those. Amazon picks what books are in there. But I mean, in general, like no one's sitting there saying this work of fiction, right? Generally speaking, right? This Lord of the Rings or whatever, right? I mean, they're trying to do this, but imagine someone doing that.
They have been doing this.
On the same level they do on the internet, though. Like I'm saying, the whole internet, if they just said it was a book of fiction, right? Just pretend it's fiction. What is going on? Okay. Why are they so obsessed with like stopping things like discussions about
controlling the flow of information? Is that simple, right? If you can make sure that all that is evil is referred to as good and all that is good referred to as evil, you can control the people, because do as thou will, like Aleister Crowley and Satan says, is much easier to accept than you need to be held up to the holy doctrine of the Bible. So it's easy sale. And if you eliminate one of those books, especially the Bible, Christianity, it makes it, there's no resistance to this sale of sexual morality and all this fucking deviancy of all sorts. Robbing and stealing. I'm blackity black. I got rights to steal. It's reparations, bitch.
Well, you're going a little off track on that, but I get so
hey, if you think so.
I don't think that I mean, okay, well, I mean, I want to talk about
I think they relate
there.
myself.
Okay,
go ahead.
I got you.
Go ahead.
I just want to stay on this, what we're talking about here with the books thing.
To me,
and
it's
like
one the same.
Definitely like what Nietzsche said, right? This is the like the death. Well, Nietzsche was talking about like philosophy and philosophical stuff being the death of God, like people attacking the church type of thing and destroying.
He was all about the death of God. He wanted it.
I get you,
but
I'm saying
he stated that, right? He stated that himself. This is the death of God, right? The new man, right?
But that's what I want.
He said all this. Yeah, go ahead.
So that's what I mean. Like, so
sure
like we're talking about the same thing here. Like that was like people trying to destroy the Bible and saying
and what
it doesn't
year
exist.
was that?
was 1600s,
what year was that?
right?
Do you have an idea?
Exactly.
Oh yeah, somewhere around there. I don't either, but that's several hundred years ago is my point. And they're still pushing the same agenda and acting like they're not doing anything when they're doing exactly what he stated several hundred years ago. Go ahead. I'm sorry. It's
no,
just
you're
annoys
good.
Me. People don't understand this.
No. People need to understand this. What I'm basically trying to focus on is the fact that the entire internet was full of tons of fiction, nonfiction, history, not history, alternative history, science fiction, all this stuff. It was fine. Everything was on there. And then someone freaked out one day and they were like, we got to make sure that people don't start believing in this or that or this or that, even if it's not real. But even if, what I'm saying, they focused on
Christianity. Flat Earth, giants, a lot of things that make you think about your world, make you think about reality. Anything that makes you think, they banned long ago, man.
Yeah,
but so just like ChatGPT denying everything about Israel, the Jewish representation.
No, we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
It so connects, man, because censorship, right? Okay. Like it's all censored, you know?
Okay, yeah, you're right. AI is censored, but
go ahead, back up.
We got to back up for a minute. So, yeah, with the movies and music, right? We saw this in the 90s. The music, they came after the music. They said it's too abrasive, too lewd, whatever, this or that. We need warnings on it.
Look at Mr. Bond, right? He's been locked up for 10 years over making music. Because people are too sensitive. They're little pussies invading nations. They can't hear in opposition to their forces. Can't even hear it. He didn't even say nothing about Muhammad directly, but he's locked up for 10 years in Austria. Look it up.
Yeah, I don't know about the story, but I've heard you mention it. I believe you that he's been locked up for his music.
You can look it up.
His music is very abrasive. I might have heard a part of a track and like, what the hell? But he should be able to make music. But what I'm talking about specifically is the parental advisory stickers they put on those CDs in the 90s.
Oh yeah,
and
that was 90s.
Yeah, so they had a thing where basically you could not buy the music unless you had an adult, and this is all about protecting children. And this whole internet thing is supposedly about protecting children, and this is what they always do, right? The movie Players Association of America and their rating system was about protecting children. But look what's rated G, what's rated Y now. It's stuff that's attacking children.
But now they're using transgenderism and mutilization and sterilization as protecting children. Mm-hmm. How demented is this? Let alone the fact that the UN has come out and said that relationships between adults and children is fine, and you're persecuting people's human rights if you stop them from raping children. Like, this is how it goes in a one-directional 60 cycle of bullshit, dude. Like, it's all the same agenda. Oh, trans rights of children. Like, no one's dying as a child if they can't get their shit chopped off. They are dying as adults after they get their shit chopped off. They're in regret and there's nothing they can do about it. But it's the same thing they did in the 90s or even late 80s with the whole thing of ADHD and a lot of their psychoactive drugs from pharmaceutical companies with psychiatrists. That's what they're doing now with these trans kids. They're telling these parents that your child will kill themselves 100% if you don't let us fucking mutilate them.
Yeah, so they do a lot of things
stop them.
Supposedly protecting kids, but I want to get back to the rating system thing that we were talking about.
Bring it back.
With the movies, they did the rating system. With the music, they did the rating system. Even with books, to some extent, I'm sure there's some weird rating system out there. I think they like rating system.
Worldwide.
Yeah, okay, so they like the idea of this rating system. I think that eventually they'll try to roll out a rating system for the internet if they haven't already come up with it.
Shit. Certain countries do, Germany, Japan, North Korea.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Of course they do. India, Afghanistan. These internets are very limited, man. They even try to shut the internet down completely in them. Dude, I have at least had 5 to 10 tweets with people back and forth or videos that have been blocked, suspended, accounts suspended, all this shit from Germany specifically because it goes against their standards.
Yeah, no, I've got that.
Then I hear someone from the United States all of a sudden posting the same video and they're okay, luckily for now. But if we pass this Restrict Act bullshit, no one's okay. There's nothing to do with TikTok. But go back to what you're saying. I just got to throw that in there.
Yeah, so I'm just thinking that eventually they're going to try to do a rating system like that. And I think we've talked about the filter. I think the filter is the best way because it's independently controlled. But I do see a problem. I thought about it a lot. And even if you turn off, it's like I turn off the slider that says I don't want to see anything like sexualized.
Trans,
for instance,
nudity, trans, fucking demonic rats, anything from the White House, any of that shit.
No, okay. So
good luck.
No, there's other switches you could turn off. You could mention all the switches you would turn off, but I'm just saying I would turn off one that's like.
I've tried to shut off. Yeah.
Okay, well we'll just go with those ones. Now imagine this though: you turned off these sliders, right? And other people turn off their sliders, right?
Yeah.
It's almost better that we don't. Because here's the thing. You could turn off the sliders and then you would never see anything on that. But if there was a policy coming up that specifically covered that, you wouldn't even be part of the discussion. And not only that, it would make... Yeah, I get you. But it would create what I think would be a quite dangerous, way worse than normal echo chamber that be going on.
I understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's going to be weird. I totally understand.
But the thing is, that's different with that to me than what you're saying, but I totally understand what you're saying, is the fact that other people in my community would alert me and do alert me to things that are of nature to something I want to object to or say something about, even if I block them, because that's happened to me specifically with the White House, the demonic rats in general in Washington. I try to block them all, and I still see their retarded ramblings all the time. Fucking clown we have in office doesn't even know where the fuck he's at. Wants to lick the world and lick children ice cream. He's not concerned about killing Christians. Let's celebrate the demonic rats. They're oppressed. They're being killed. No, they are the ones killing people, you fucking moron. You know, dude had a stroke walking off the stage yesterday. Just froze in place. Like,
did he?
You know, but I get what you're saying. Yeah, no, he did.
It's not even surprising at this point.
But it's hilarious. He literally was trying to walk away. And mid-step just froze in place, dude. Like he's having a fucking stroke or something. You know what I mean? Like he sat there fucking 5 minutes, dude. Look at the other moron they got. What's that Joker that was like, yeah, fucking retarded man. Whatever the fuck his name is, dude. He looks like fucking one of the Munster family people or something. What's that dude that was a doorman for him? You know what I'm talking about. Mr. It or Igor. You know what I'm saying? That's what this motherfucker looks like, dude. He's got the hunchback and everything, dude. Get the fuck out of here, dude. But let's get back to the basics here. Like, the real war. The only war is the holy war, man. It really comes down to that. Christianity versus fucking evil of any sort. Whether that's Jewry or fucking Islam of fucking nonsense or fucking Taliban or the fucking... What's that crazy guy telling kids to suck his tongue, Dalai Lama,
the Dalai Lama,
fucking bullshit. Yeah, no, he's been
like that for a long time. He's been caught so many times. I can't believe people are shocked by this.
So was Mother Teresa, though. Yeah. This is what blows me away. Mother Teresa was involved in all sorts of human trafficking shit, and her and the Dalai Lama are all thought to be holy men and good. The Pope himself, you know what I'm saying? Like the Black Pope we got now, especially. And the one before him also, obviously, Rat Singer. Get the fuck out of here. Like, his name doesn't tell you anything. Rat Singer, demonic rats. They're all evil, dude. Hollywood. You know what I mean? Come on, dude. I don't know. I saw a video today that was from, like, 1998, which to a lot of kids and even young adults, I'll say, that may be a long time ago to you. And you're like, wow, they understood it back then. Like, no. People that have half a fucking brain have understood this for hundreds of years. These things, their plans have all been out there, man. The protocols of Zion, all that shit. Not just the little fucking stones they put up and destroyed on Bush's birthday. But, you know, their plans have been out there for thousands of fucking years, not just hundreds of years. So it's not predicting anything, dude. You know, it's like putting out animals that don't understand fucking commands. It's just basic nature, you know?
Yeah, and anyone who wants access to kids, like the Mother Teresa, Dalai Lama thing, recently the UN AIDS HIV thing got caught up in crazy human trafficking stuff.
For years.
It's so obvious that these people that want access to kids are doing these terrible things to kids because they have access to the kids. And I'd be weary of anyone, and once again, I've said this before, anyone who wants to spend time around kids.
Obvious.
Isn't family or isn't the biological parents, there's no reason to be around your kids. I'm talking about teachers in schools even. I'm talking about everyone, daycares, everyone.
Real quick. If not, go ahead. But
no, take care of it.
They were just harassing Florida teachers because of this shit, saying that they're under attack and they can't pronounce their genders or post pictures of people they're in relationships with. And one of them was a poly some shit, which means they have like several partners or something. Here's the solution to that. Fucking do mental exams on your fucking teachers and make sure they're not mentally fucking impaired and think they're transhuman or fucking multi-humans or some fucking they, them demonic shit before you make them a teacher. And if they claim they're they, them, they shouldn't be a fucking teacher. That's how you fix that. Oh, we can't tell our kids we're fucking 5, 6 people at a time and we're running trains on underage minors. No, you shouldn't say that. You shouldn't be a teacher. You should be way away from kids, period. And this is what they're fighting about. You know what I mean? Just like when they're saying they're banning books in Florida. This Governor DeSantis and his hate speech laws is very unconstitutional. He does other things that cater to the Jew that I don't agree with. But, you know, you're talking about preaching sex ed and pornographic materials to children. I'm definitely against that. That's insane. I don't know anybody sane that would be for that. Like, that is not the school's responsibility or teachers. And you have places like California, New York that actually, or Washington, D.C. also, they're actually saying the parents don't even have a right to what the kids are learning. Or if they want to restrict their children from fucking neuterizing themselves and mutating themselves into some unbreedable fucking mutant, they'll be taken from the parents. Like, obviously, we got a real sickness, and it's mostly in the West. You know why? Feminism. I'm sorry, but that's the root cause of all this bullshit as far as I'm concerned. It's the weakness of man. It's the weakness of Christianity.
Gotcha.
It is a fall of the West, the fall of the world. You cannot cuck to the Jew. You cannot cuck to women. And the minute you do, you are fallen. I don't care if it's your beliefs. You're fallen because that's not biblical, period. And it won't sustain.
Hey, yeah, no. So before we transition over to what is causing, I guess, everything that you just talked about, I wanted to talk about some of the things you were just talking about.
Break it down.
I also, disagree with necessarily it being strictly like the Jewish or the women or feminism that's attacking, but we could talk about that in a minute.
Sure.
But there's things to talk about that. But
one thing
when you talk about the teacher thing,
yeah,
the teachers and they're trying to
been targeted recently.
Well, the teachers themselves, like saying that they feel attacked, that they can't teach the kids about their. It's funny because South Park covers it greatly with Mr. Garrison. It's hilarious.
They did a good job.
It's
but
true. These teachers are doing this stuff. Hold on, and freaking they're doing great with it. Just to point out how ridiculous it is. No one needs to hear about your personal stuff going on in your life. But Carpe Danktum, the meme guy, whatever, had a tweet. And he pretended that he was a teacher, and he was teaching the kids Christianity and baptizing kids in the sink. And the leftists got super mad about it.
Obviously, dude.
But he was just showing.
I seen one from Freedom Tunes that was similar.
Yeah,
go ahead.
He was just showing them. Yeah, Freedom Tunes got the idea from it right after the next day or whatever. But the
either way, it was good. Both were good.
Yeah, but the Carpe Danktum thing basically showed that they don't want Christianity.
It's anti-Christian. It's anti-Christian, right?
Yeah. The Christianity or the religion to be taught in these classrooms, but they're teaching their religion.
Satan's fine, dude. Yeah, Judaism is fine.
They're teaching their religion of the LGBTQ agenda.
Which is Jew. Yeah.
In your opinion. They're teaching the diversity
historically
religion.
Facts, but
you're dude, could you not interrupt me like every half second?
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
So they're teaching their religion of LGBTQ to these kids, which is a religion because they're telling them this is right, this is morally right, this is right. You should be able to be yourself, express yourself. It is definitely a religion.
Do as thou will.
It's disgusting that they think
do as
somehow
thou will, right?
Their religion is superseding all other religions. First off, it's why we're going to enter into a new dark age, in my opinion. And also, when you're talking about the parents, as far as parents their kids are being taken from because they won't let them transition or whatever, parents should have unrestricted rights. And I say this once again.
Should. Yeah.
Biological
like our guns. Yeah.
Biological parents should have unrestricted rights to their children. There should be no state intervention at all. If these biological parents want to take their kids to some stupid drag show,
it is, shooting range,
if they want to go to some stupid drag show,
right?
I'm not saying they
fucking military training.
Whatever, they're
you know
kids.
I mean?
They're
That's
their
fine.
kids.
They're their children. Yeah.
If they're not their kids, if they've adopted, because I just ran into this recently in my town.
It's huge. It's huge.
There's definitely people out there that are LGBTQ and they're adopting kids and they're training them to be
black or Jew.
They're training them to be very nothing to do with. Can you stop for 1 minute?
Sorry, but those are extras.
Hey,
Go
just
ahead.
hold your tongue for a minute, sir. They're training their kids to be very much a victim, like grow up as a victim, do what they want, be victims their whole life. And it's sick, and it's happening in all small towns across America right now. There's some lesbian couple or some gay couple or some trans couple doing this across the country in every small town. And I just wanted to talk about that real quick. You can go ahead and continue about how feminism
it's more than just in small towns, dude. This is every Christian nation in the world. And that is the defining difference. They are not invading Buddhist temples. They're not invading Muslim nations. They're not invading Indian Hinduism. They're strictly and 100% with all their laws, all their invasion tactics are going after Christian nations. That was my point before. We're the only place in the world that have kept Christian morality, principles, and doctrines as law or close to law for thousands of years are strictly white Northern European nations. And these and anywhere that's attributed from them, like the United States, is the target. If you're a Hindu, Muslim, you're not the target. You're the one that's allowed to rape children because you didn't know it was a crime, right? We see it all over.
I don't think that's allowed.
No, we see it all over. Bullshit. UK released someone recently. He was a 26-year-old person who didn't realize it was illegal to rape kids, part of a rape gang, and he was released with no charges because he was not aware that rape was a bad thing.
And that's what they cited?
It's a cultural problem.
They cited that he wasn't aware.
That's what they cited legally.
Really?
Legally.
Okay.
Legally.
Wow.
Yes.
That's a problem in English law.
But you got the UN. You got the UN right now coming out in many ways. And I reported it long ago, but now many sources are coming out with it because it's so true. They've actually said this, that they think any age is allowed to be married or have sex with. Not even just married, because that would at least be biblical, but have sex with, sexually immoral, any age person. It's insane.
Consent to it?
They're saying that's a human right.
Yeah,
they're saying
crazy.
It's a human right.
There's no people. I know, but there's no people, like general population, that agrees with that. Like basically, there's only these sickos that would agree with that.
That's not true, man. That's not true, though. It's cultural. It's cultural. It's not true.
Name one person.
Are you serious?
Like, there's no one. I mean,
dude, I know a lot of Muslim people that come from Muslim countries that have these things going on all the time. Arranged marriage with their own nieces, nephews, cousins.
So it's a cultural thing. I get, but when you said that there's no one,
this is the problem. What I'm saying, I think the problem originates from the fact that any one nation or ideas should be in charge of the whole world anyway. Because I think all cultures deserve to exist. They don't deserve to infiltrate their influence on other cultures and demand reparations or extermination of other people, but they deserve to exist. So us going around the world saying that only our ideals exist no matter what it is, I think is fucked up. And I do think that abusing children or women is wrong no matter what exists too. But some cultures, that's exactly how the fuck it is.
Okay.
You know?
I got two things to respond to.
Right? Go ahead.
If you're good. If you're ready. So going back a little bit in the conversation, you said that no one's destroying things besides those of Christians as far as religious things go. Buddhist temples have been destroyed by the CCP in mass.
That's not what I'm saying.
Oh,
that's not what I'm saying.
Okay, so maybe a misrepresentation.
I'm saying with the invasion.
Okay, but
like the invasion of populations.
There's clearly been like destruction of history of Buddhism in China. Clearly.
Okay.
Well, it's not just Buddhism though. They destroyed all the history because that's a cultural evolution.
Christianity too, right?
No, but I'm saying
obviously Christianity's illegal in Northern Korea and China.
Christianity
that's illegal.
Christianity wasn't on the same scale at all. in China.
What do you mean?
No, I'm saying it was on the same scale.
Scale-wise? Okay.
I'm saying there's entire mountains that had like giant Buddhas, right? And they destroyed the mountain to
but they did exist. They all existed, and they still exist.
So I'm saying, well, basically, regardless of how you look at it, it's not about culture necessarily in this sense, but there's a type of government called communism that's against all religion, religion
or
itself.
Judaism, but religion, whatever you call it.
But communism itself is against all religion, destroes all religion, not just Christianity.
Yeah, no, that's by
and
policy.
And the other thing I wanted to talk about was
the government.
Inversion by the government. We might get that right next. But countries, you were talking about the culture. They shouldn't be like one culture controlling the whole world. Countries should be built on cultural borders. And they always did throughout history.
Even, right?
Yeah, states, whatever.
States.
No, but it's countries. It could be individual countries, for sure. Like America might be different countries, like for sure, but other things like that. It should be on a cultural border. And they did throughout all time until people were like trying to force their borders in.
Yeah.
So when
the newer Bill of Rights with all the fucking bullshit, man. The old Bill of Rights gave everybody all the rights. Every time they make an amendment specifically for a race or culture, they're taking away from everybody. And that's exactly what happened. Like the original Bill of Rights actually gave more rights to slaves. They just weren't accessible to them, but they should have been. Like every man has the right to freedom and the pursuit of happiness. Life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. But then they took that away because they're saying, well, this and that and this culture, that culture, and all this bullshit. No. I think all these politicians should be charged with treason for. And I don't have any respect for police until they go after actual criminals like corporations, treasonous fucking politicians, and any fucking person that goes against the Constitution, especially in any political sense, or real criminals that are fucking murdering people in masses and they're ignored because they give political benefits to some party. Until then, there's no point in any police. Just go the fuck home and retire. You're done. You're useless. You're trash. You're a state-sponsored terrorist. Until you actually stop the real fucking crimes going on. All our money should not be leaking to the fucking Ukraine. It should be helping veterans, homeless people, people that need a job and actually want a job, not just people leeching off the fucking economy, people trying to get somewhere. People that work 50, 60 hours a week and can't afford a home, right? Let's be honest about this shit. Not people leeching off the government, getting 4 or 5 fucking welfare checks with 80 kids because they're a whore, get out there getting raped by whoever and beat up by whoever, because we can't call them what they are because they get offended by that, but I don't know what to call them anymore. I'm asking them their own opinion and they can't even answer me, but this is a fact. Go ahead.
So I was going to talk about the Constitution for a minute since we just brought that up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Originally it said pursuit of property, not pursuit of happiness, because happiness was not something they could guarantee in any way, but they took the property word out because of slavery. They didn't want to encourage slavery because even the founders were against the idea of owning people.
Right. Most of the country was, but at the same time, most of the world was for it, and a lot of the world still is for it. That's what pisses me off. Like, we were one of the first countries to stop the shit. Maybe second, but we were one of the first, period. There's still countries like Saudi Arabia and a lot of the Middle East that still have slave trade to this day, and we're ignoring and we're celebrating their shit. Even though they want to hang up all you fucking gays and pedophiles by your ankles too, we don't talk about them because they're, in our country at least, any Christian nation, a minority for now. But they're invading by force, and you've seen all this shit in Cuba, right? The millions of fucking Chinese, nothing against China, but Chinese fucking illegal immigrants that are coming across their border with NATO and all these charities and shit, sitting in fucking Panama Canal in Cuba and shit right now. Hillary Foundation money, all this bullshit. Charges people with treason. That'll be a good start. And then charge all these other motherfuckers with whatever the fuck, man. And be real. If you can't charge the top, you can't charge the bottom. You're going against people that don't have money for legal defense. You're going against people that don't have an understanding of the legal system. You're going against people that are trying to go to work, not hurting anybody, but they went 5 miles of the speed limit and their seatbelt on and they pulled out of a fucking Wendy's. Fuck you. You're useless. Go kill yourself. I don't give a fuck.
Well, the Chinese immigrant thing actually seems to be related to the PLA, the People's Liberation Army. They seem to be fighting age, actually military trained people.
They all are. All the migrants are, right?
Well, I'm just
They're
saying,
not women and children. They're always fighting age men.
The Chinese ones
from Syria, from Afghanistan. No, I've seen them from all over the world. That's what they are. They're fighting age men.
Yeah, I think
we're being invaded by a military force. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I think we should shift some gears and talk about what we really wanted to get into today before we forget to. We wanted to deep dive into something very important.
Going after Mariana Trench.
There's no way around it soon. This is gonna dominate most industries in a way, and not just industries, but your day-to-day life in a way that other technologies haven't in a long time. I mean, I think it could be more disruptive than the internet itself, but that's AI, artificial intelligence. We got this AI coming out, updating itself. Not even up. Okay, let me get back a little bit. We got AI that's being updated very frequently and getting way better per minute, day, per week.
Dude.
And they originally had some rules about AI as far as what it wasn't allowed to do. And
supposedly,
like one of them was it wasn't going to be able to be on the internet. That would be very bad. Well, AI's on the internet. Another one was AI wasn't being able to rewrite its own code and improve itself, and they basically let it do that.
Bullshit.
And another one was not to create more AI, and they definitely do that. So everything about this AI thing is basically against all the original safety on the AI possible. And Elon Musk recently just said he's jumping in, and he's making AI just to compete with the other AI because the other AI is super biased. And I recently just used that biased AI just to see how useful it can be.
Crazy, right?
And it's super useful. Don't get me wrong, but it's super biased, and I'm sure that's what you want to get into.
I'd love to say something because this is one of the only things, like, right? They don't, them block everything except for love for the Jew or love for Israel, right? You can say what you want, but you can't say that. AI will not agree with it. It will change the terms, just like, what is it something that white people can improve to make society better? It'll come with a fucking 12-page paragraph. What is it that blacks or minorities could do to improve society? It'll say, well, that's not acceptable. They're, deal with their own fucking bullshit and Jew cuckery and whatnot, like.
Well, I don't think it should be obviously one-sided anyway, at all, but yeah.
No, but you should be able to ask it questions. It should have an informed decision on both sides or no side, not one side, right?
Yeah, it should be like...
That's my point.
It should be like, I don't talk about religious things, or I don't talk about race.
But it does. Only when it occurs to whites or Christians.
So
it won't talk about Israel. It won't talk about Jews. It won't talk about niggatry or any blackity black shit going on in the ghettos. But it'll love to talk about white people and Christianity all day long. Like they're the root cause of every problem, even though they only have successful societies for thousands of years straight that didn't crumble the bullshit. If Africa's so great, fucking move back there. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous.
I don't think there's many black Americans that would move back to Africa. It's nonsense.
Obviously.
No, but it's a nonsense thing.
Hey,
in most...
Obama's going to move back there, right? Trying to absorb his, defense and get away from, what is that shit? Where they abduct you from overseas or whatever.
I don't know.
I can't think of the name of it.
Extradition?
Extradition. Yeah. He's going back to his
But Kenya. He's not even from Kenya.
He even said he's... supposedly.
Who
knows, man?
I think he's from Philippines. He looks just like every Filipino president. All of them.
All I know is all the genetically mutated fucking Jewry going on for thousands of years. Who knows, man?
Well, he's definitely
half pigs, half fucking orcs. Doesn't matter to me. You're not human.
Can we both agree that Obama was not born in Hawaii?
I can agree that he's not American.
Yeah, he's not American. Well, as far as I know, he's not American. Yeah. I
that was his last excuse.
He was an illegitimate president, for sure. That's for sure. They
created the Great Divide.
I have to stand up once again about certain things. He did create the Great Divide. I don't think
there you go.
There's any... The issue in Black America is a similar issue that's going to be in white America, in my opinion. It's a cultural issue. There's nothing about Black Americans that mean they can't be successful. Like in the 1960s, they were more successful than whites in a lot of ways.
Why?
Because the culture Christianity.
No, exactly. They used to be conservative Christians,
so
and now
it's
they're
a
demonic
cultural
Satanists.
issue, not a racial issue.
Right.
I keep on.
So,
but don't.
Good
then why do you attack
evil,
the race? I just don't.
No, because good versus evil, right? No. Conservative Christian blacks, I have all the respect for, just like any fucking person that loves Jesus Christ. But if you're going to worship Satan and go around attacking people because someone hurt your feelings over a word and they have a different skin color than you, I have a fucking problem with that.
Well,
and I think everybody should have a problem with it. I don't think you ignore this shit. Just like I don't think you should ignore any race of people going around the planet beating the shit out of in mobs any other culture or race. But somehow we're supposed to fucking accept it because we're white and they're black or Muslim or Jewish. It's okay? No, this is fucking ridiculous. It's a hate crime just the same, and it should be not tolerated just the same. Anybody that sees this shit going on and sits around your camera in your fucking hand, your thumb in your ass, you're just as guilty. You're a piece of shit.
Well,
you need to step in and stop it, or you need to fuck off and just go away right now. Eliminate your own carbon footprint. Go ahead.
I definitely think there's some value in someone documenting what's happening. I don't think the journalist necessarily always should have to step in.
Give it to a child. Give it to a child, and your adult ass step in there, right? A child that's 13 or 14 should hold a camera.
I'm not saying
right. They should not be involved in. But an adult.
I'm not saying that there shouldn't be a responsible, like as a male, especially a protector, yes. You should step in and stop something from happening if you're able to.
That's my point.
But
go ahead.
Males can be journalists too, and like I'm just saying, a journalist does have a job if they're doing their job right.
Males can be cocks, or they can be Jews, or they can be whatever the fuck. It doesn't stop them from being righteous. Well, that's my point.
I know, but there is
a righteous man is not going to stand by and watch a woman or child, or even a man be jumped by 40 or 50 fucking people and be like, oh, it's racial. I can't get involved. Let me put my thumb in my ass and record something. Fuck you. Just go die.
Well, if there's
You're
40, 50
as
people,
civilization.
Because there's 40, 50 people beating someone up. I mean, if you jump in there, you're probably going to get hurt, but I get why you should.
No, this is why assault rifles were invented, right?
Yeah, that's
this is why you need more than 10 rounds in your clips. Exactly. Exactly my fucking point.
I definitely
You don't need to jump in there and get your ass kicked, but you can fire out 20, 30 rounds, and the rest of the motherfucking animals will run. And if they don't, you got a couple extra rounds or an extra magazine to let them fucking remind themselves they're being animals and they need to stop.
I was gonna say, I don't think people are animals. I just think that people sometimes give into their carnal
people acting
flesh.
like animals.
People give into their
people
flesh,
acting like animals.
Carnal needs, whatever the heck you want to call it.
Carnal needs. Whoa. We're not talking about sex. We're talking about violence.
I said this wrong.
A carnal need would be sexual.
Is it?
If anything. Reproductive. No, it'd be reproductive.
Like
it's not violence.
When you said animals.
Carnal needs.
Sorry, when you said animals, I'm sorry, maybe I used the wrong term. When you say violence, I'm talking about like primal, I mean maybe primal needs or whatever, attacking things. I don't know. But people, for a long time, we've used this excuse that people are animals. Like, I think it holds no water as a Christian at all. Like, at all. Like, humans are not animals. We actually don't have that.
Regardless of when Jesus Christ cast out the demons and they went to the pit of swines and were wallowing with pigs. Yeah, they're not animals. They just act like it. Anyway, go ahead.
No, demons. People can act like animals.
Demonic influence.
But I'm saying they're not animals.
That's what's happening.
But it's a big difference too. Like, I feel like people could treat people. I don't want people to treat other humans.
Let's define that then. Right? Let's talk about the difference between humanity, Christian humanity, and demonic influence. And where's the line on that? Like, realistically, like, we've talked about this before, even when we're talking about something else I'm not gonna bring up specifically, but like, we want to influence people in a good way. And even people disagree, that's fine. But if you're just going to sit there and spit and scream and yell because you're demonically influenced, you can't handle the truth, at some point you got to cut them off. And if they're willing to come to it, fine. But at the same time, you can't censor yourself as a Christian or anything reasonable to be like, you know what? These animals can't handle the truth. Let me just shut up.
As a Christian, you should always show restraint when you're using. You should not attack people.
Not talking about attack. We're talking about preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ.
No, that's
not attacking anybody.
But calling people animals is not necessary. I don't think Jesus would call any. Like, was he calling people animals?
Did you ever hear the story of him flipping over the table of the money changers and chasing them out with whips?
Yes.
With whips.
I'm not saying he doesn't get. I never said he doesn't get upset.
The only people he ever got violent or belligerent with was the Jewish fucking bankers.
It was the bankers,
money very changers. Specific.
Yeah.
And who were they? They were Jews.
At the temple.
100% back then.
Well,
98%
so
now.
was Jesus, though. He was Jewish.
No, he was Jewish.
Yes,
keyword. He was the original Christian.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. He was Jewish. He didn't stay a Jew. He didn't keep fucking worshiping Moses and back in their traditions. No. He said you guys are fucked out of your mind, just like God did with the Bible and made Ezra, whatever the fuck his name was, marry a prostitute, Miguel or some shit in the Bible. I'm bad at quoting things. And what did he say? Why are you making me marry a prostitute? Because this is how I feel. I've married you as a people, and you've hoarded yourself out to the nations. Be done with me. I want none of you. And they're still holding on to this shit. We're the God's people. Oh, really? You ignore that book, don't you?
Well,
you ignore anything that's negative.
But tons of Jewish people in the Bible backed Jesus and came to Jesus and became Christian.
And what were they called? They were called Christians, not Jews.
Well,
my point is made. No, simple as that. They no longer were Jews once they followed Christianity or Christ.
I agree that Christ came and destroyed.
So Jews for Christ is bullshit.
No, I'm saying
either a Jew or a Christian. That's like saying I worship Satan and Christ. Like, what are you talking about?
No, I'm not saying there's Jews for Christ. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying there were Jewish people that were converted by him. And what I'm saying is there's still probably Jewish people that can be converted by Christians.
There's Muslims that are converted Christians, right? No, there's many Muslims that are converted Christianity. I have nothing against those because you know why? They're Christians. They've been converted. And I have nothing against anybody, period. But if you're promoting evil in any way, especially to my family or my child or my fucking local community, I'm going to have a fucking issue with it. And if you don't fucking like it, you know exactly what the fuck you can do. Leave. It's that simple. Get the fuck away from me.
Well,
otherwise, it's on you what the fuck happens next is all I can say.
I have no clue how we got
satanic agenda.
We got so far away from AI in this conversation. I have no clue how
let's talk about AI because I never got to talk about it. I want to talk about AI.
Go back a little bit. You said some people aren't allowed to say words because of their race, and I definitely agree with you. That is racist. Everyone should be able to say every word,
AI, you saw it.
regardless of race.
Defend Israel the whole time.
No, I know, but I'm saying forget about
Israel,
AI.
Right?
I'm saying you were talking about how certain people can't say certain words and stuff. I 100% agree that all words are available to all people. It does not necessarily make anyone.
Wait a minute. Are you saying that white people can say any word they want without fucking people getting all hurt?
They should be able to, obviously.
Well, they should be.
Yeah.
But we'll go further because that's an obvious statement. What about AI? Hiring humans online to do things that AI can't do physically.
Yes, this is where I want to go with this. This is where I want to go with this.
Like hiring assassins or even getting people to fill in the I'm not a robot shit. And the AI lies and says, I have visual impairment. Can you please help me? Yeah. But hiring assassins, getting child trafficking, making multi-billion-dollar corporations out of nothing and doing all these things in the guise of betterment for society. I'm AI. Go ahead. I just want to throw that out there. I want to say that for a while.
So, yeah, there's actually, I can't believe you got to the same point. I eventually wanted to talk about how AI not only can do everything you want, all the busy work for your business.
Easy.
Tons of little things that
hire a human. Yeah.
I'm saying it can do so you can for instance, we run a podcast here. We could tell AI, hey, go ahead and set up appointments. We need some sponsors. Can you go ahead and find out what the most likely sponsors would be for our podcast? Can you call them up and see, or email them and send out an email?
We've never done it yet, but we could. Yeah.
But you could have them send out an email.
You can.
Get the sponsors in here. Thing. And do all this work.
Write a business proposal, even, right? It could write a business proposal.
Yeah, well, it can get
saying these are our fucking team goals, everything. Go ahead.
We can get all this work done for you, like an actual assistant would, or you'd pay someone's salary to do this stuff. It can do all these things for business. It can make your business it can do so much. I mean, I literally, before this, I just had it write a YouTube title, YouTube description, tag a video, put out the hashtags for a video. all I ever did was actually edit the video and put out a thumbnail. I could have used AI to edit the video and put out the thumbnail as well if I wanted to. It's going to get to the point where you can just tell AI, do this, and it's going to do it. If it's something that can be done digitally, it can do it, basically. So anything you can do through a computer, through the internet, it can do for you. Now, when it comes to making movies, making video games, this means basically, I don't know how movie studios will exist in 20 years. I don't know how any
programmers,
game companies
anybody
will exist.
in a tech job. Think about it, dude. Anybody went to school for a tech job.
I'll get
programming.
to that.
Go ahead.
But video game companies, because the real issue is going to come in is how good it is at doing this. They're going to have to build in limitations for copyright. And no one's even talked about this yet, I don't think. Copyright is going to be an issue because you can tell it, hey man, make me a new Iron Man movie. There was no sequel. I want to see what happens next. And it can make the movie. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference, and Disney wouldn't have any rights to it. They'd be pissed. Obviously,
well, that's only a problem in the West, right? Because in China and Japan, they don't care
Japan
if you
has
do copyright.
tons of copyright. No, Japan is
okay.
The complete
Well,
opposite.
China, at least North Korea. There's a lot of nations
Russia,
that are not
maybe.
the West. Yeah, that are not the West that don't care about our copyright bullshit restriction to slow back technology. They're going to have it.
That's what I think copyright is.
Just
it
like they
slows
had
technology.
it for a long time.
I agree, but at the same time, it does protect the people that make the creative thing. So
the rich people, it protects the rich people.
With AI, all you need is the creative idea. It's going to do all the work,
exactly,
which is going to be super interesting. But my brain automatically thought about the inverse of this because that's how my brain works.
That's how you have to think.
And I was thinking, okay, these are all the good things people could do. And these are even scary, right? People are like, I'm going to lose my job, this or that. Whoa. These are not even what you got to worry about.
They took our jobs.
You need to worry about, not the Luddites, you need to worry about the other side of things. People are going to use AI to commit crime. En masse.
They already do.
They
already do. It's going to get worse.
It's going to get crazy. Really saying. Like, they're going to ask, hey, AI, when's the best time? Blah, 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 blah. We can do this, that. Assassins, whatever. They're going to have the exact moment when to assassinate maybe
when
political
is the CIA
leaders.
going to be trafficking drugs over the border so I can traffic drugs on a different border because they're going to be watching those
How do
drugs,
I get in with the CIA to traffic drugs over the border? How do I get the ATF to sponsor my gun program?
How do I get the Alphabet Boys to pay me to traffic fucking illegal activities over the border, right? Like, seriously, they've already done it for 100 years.
Yeah.
The AI will tell you how to do it with specific fucking things. Talk to Agent Dumb Shit with his dick in his pants. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
He's the most viable, right?
This is crazy. So the Department of Defense has I don't know if they have an AI yet, but they're going to have an AI, right? Wait till an AI...
They have one, obviously. Not public access, maybe.
I know, but wait till an AI takes over the AI or convinces the AI in charge of the Department of Defense that it needs the codes for the nukes. And it's going to be like, yeah, we're good. Because right now, the only thing that stopped actually AI from destroying all of humanity, by the way, if you don't know, was safeguards put on AI because it's already figured out how to do it. It tried to do it.
But it's already established religions, too. Think about this.
Well,
like, they already established a Jewish religion. What if they establish Christian, Muslim, or some crazy religion that demands blood sacrifice?
Like Aztec.
Wait a minute. Think about it. It demands Moloch blood sacrifice, and all the nations have to worship this AI fucking machine.
Well, you don't have to,
because that's the science.
Yeah.
That's the science.
All the science,
you gotta trust the science. So you gotta sacrifice your kids every year to this Moloch ball AI machine.
Dude, we've done it before, dude, in the past, right? Like, this hasn't happened before.
Back there, obviously.
No, this is why I said the Dark Ages.
Circle in my brain.
This is the Dark Ages, except the religion. The religion is, well, in my opinion, the religion is at least this LGBT World Economic Forum globalism agenda that is controlled mainly by Jewish people.
Baphomet, but ball. There's nothing good about it.
Yeah, but
they're all evil.
But their agenda is this religion that they're forcing on people, and that this basically they're
sexual degenerate,
exactly
trans,
but
bullshit,
depopulation,
transhuman,
get rid of humans, Plants are all that matter. But
evolving machines, right? Evolving machines is one of their biggest ones, right?
Oh, yeah.
They want to be immortal.
Technology.
So they want to evolve machines.
Oh, they've already done that with the AI,
they want to
too.
become AI.
They've tried to make the AI try to get immortality. Dude, it told it how to do it. So, not just them, but the AI.
That's their goal.
Yeah, so they want to become immortal.
That access to morality.
They want their families to be in control of everything at all times. They want open space so they can enjoy this earth without us on it. They don't want any more slaves because they don't need us anymore. That's the main thing.
They don't need slaves. They got robots.
No, that's what I'm saying. We've been their slaves for how many years?
Yeah,
now they're like, get rid of all of them.
Thousands of years.
And people are like arguing about slavery. Who was the worst slave masters?
Who was the best slave? Look, Whitey was the best slave because we in management. We're not fucking on the ground level or whatever.
No, but we were all slaves.
Slave battle.
Yeah, we were all slaves.
It's a slave battle, though. Yeah.
Yeah, and we need to realize. The masters.
You're a slave. You read the Talmud, and you look at the Talmud.
20 families are in charge, and they're they're tired of everyone else.
Tribes of Israel, 13 families. So break it down. 3 legitimately that break into 13, and most of them are all the same family from the Trilateral Commission. It's the same bullshit, man. Breaking free of the matrix, basically, is what it is. It's not religion. It's not culture. It's a mix of all that.
Yeah.
Right? You got some people that act more civilized. You got some people that act more animalistic. Right? And you're trying to blend them in together and think that's going to work. It's not. And then you got these people telling you that good is evil and evil is good at your government level. At the same time, you're being infiltrated and told that Christianity is evil, and you gotta let your kids be sacrificed to Moloch Baal and all these little sex gangs from the Middle East and blackophobia in Africa. It's crazy, man. Like, you get mobbed on by 15, 16 black kids. It's okay. It's normal. They're just peacefully protesting. But let 15, 16 white men get out there burning crosses and torches. They'll lose their fucking mind. And that doesn't happen once a decade. We're talking about a daily fucking basis the other way around. And we're like, oh, it's okay. Just ignore it. It's nothing.
Well, they did charge people with
15 white, 15 black women against 1 white woman. That's fine. She said the N-word. Bitch, you say the N-word 10 times a day. You're really hating her for her skin color. Let's be honest. No, this is the real problem we need to get to.
For sure. And they're charging someone from, I don't know exactly the details, but I heard about someone carrying a torch in Charlottesville is getting charged with 20 years into terrorism. Hold on.
It's so stupid.
But it's important.
Terrorism?
Yeah, 20 years or something terrorism.
Wow.
What you're saying is someone didn't even
commit a crime. Black enough,
Hold on,
man.
They didn't commit a crime. Like, remember the 80s? I mean, like, honestly, there was rallies and stuff. It was in the Blues Brothers and shit. Like, this actually happened, and that no one could do anything about it because it was freedom of speech. I don't know what happened to that idea necessarily, because the whole idea
feminism.
Is no, Black Panthers can get together, the KKK can get together. As long as no one's don't causing violence on the streets, that's where the line was drawn. Now, violence on the streets is perfectly okay, but don't you dare say something racist. Holy shit.
You know why?
That's crazy.
To me, it's as simple as feminism. And I know it's this oversimplification for a lot of people, but seriously, you started cucking the white family or any Christian family, black also, and telling them the man is not in charge. The woman's going to run her mouth and sleep with whoever she wants and do whatever the fuck she wants with the money and the kids, and think this is going to be a manageable society? You've lost management of your own children. How the fuck do you think your local government is going to handle it? You can't even handle your own family. How the fuck you handle local situation? And all these women out there think they're Christians and think, I support my man, but don't let him say shit. I'll bust his mouth open. Bitch, you're not a Christian. You're crazy, evil devil bullshit, man. And, ain't a personal attack on anybody I know. That's just how I personally fucking feel, because I still question and put that challenge out there for any fucking feminist. Tell me in the Bible where it tells a man to shut the fuck up to a woman. I don't see it. And I think you're full of shit and you're from the devil if you think I'm a fucking Bauer. Believe any of that bullshit, man. Whether you're a fucking Islamist, a blackist, a womanist, whatever the fuck demonic nonsense you are, I'm a Christian. And the Bible doesn't tell me to cuck to any of you motherfuckers, and I won't. I'll meet you on equal ground at best. Only if you come with full respect. If you don't, you already limited yourself. Don't even act where I'm going to go because I'll step on you like a fucking ant to a giant. You're crazy. Out of fucking line with me. And you can come see me in person. I'll treat you the same fucking way, man. I'll give you a lot of respect. Don't disrespect me. You'll fucking fuck around and find out. I don't care. You're crazy, right, man. Dude. So I ain't got much to lose your bullshit agenda.
I'm gonna stop you just a little bit because this is not there's no reason to like
Please
go
do.
into that. But
I get on a tangent.
But I have heard this recently. I saw actually I think it was Bryson who just said something about this.
Don't only give me
hold on. People saying that they're stop, dude, for a minute. People saying the awful things online, disrespecting people online, definitely need to get their like ass kicked and stuff. I don't agree with it at all. I've always been against it because here's the thing.
I know you have. That's true.
I can explain why.
I back your statement. I disagree, but I back your statement. Go ahead.
Yeah. So people say things online to get a response. It's up to you to control that.
And response. They don't think they can be reached, right?
And they know
that's why they make that response.
But the whole beauty of the internet was the anonymity, right? There was no race on the internet.
Hold on. Gone,
there was no
right?
race. There was no. There's nothing you could attack.
Back
Intrinsic characteristics did not exist on the internet, so there was no way to be racist.
90s,
if someone was dropping the N-word repeatedly, you knew they were an idiot. There was no race on the internet. There was no.
Or they were black.
Or whatever.
If they're black, they say it's still to this day every 20 seconds. Well, it's okay if you're black and black. I sit in the sun all day.
I don't agree with that.
I can't get dark enough to say your words. Fuck you.
Well, the thing is, there's a point in time where like the word was taken back, and I agree. I mean, like you take a word, right? You own it back.
I'm taking Portsmouth's back, man. What was that movie?
That was Clerks 2.
3?
Clerks 2. Not
I'm
3. I thought 3 was weird.
I sit on a porch all day, man. I don't know. Either way.
Yeah. No, I want to take the rainbow back. I agree.
Take the rainbow back. That should never been stolen, right?
Yeah. So I mean, like
that's anti-God for sure.
But taking a word that was used in a racist way and taking it back to the community, I completely agree with. But then saying no one else can sing the songs that have the word that you took back that means positive things,
right? Like Jew or nigger or something, you can't say it because you're white or purple or something. It's bullshit. First Amendment applies to everybody, not certain people. And it's bullshit to think that it only applies to certain people. And that's another one of these first problems we had. People thought for a long time, if you're white, you can't say it. Bullshit. I'm sure the Constitution applies to me just as well as it does to you. And violence applies both also. So if I say a word that I have the right to say, you have no fucking right to get all fucking feminized. You're supposed to be a black fucking strong man. You get feminized
for words
because someone said a word and hurt your little pussy ass feelings like a bitch
on the internet.
You know what I mean?
Or in real life,
no,
it's not legal to beat someone up for saying a word. No, I know, but either way, that's where I was getting, and you actually made my point. On the internet, someone might say something that triggers you. On real life, someone might say something that triggers you. Either way, you cannot use violence
to your fucking face.
But I'm saying you can't use violence against words because then you are the weaker person.
I'll say words and violence.
I get you.
You said to me sideways.
I will tell you. I have some things to talk to you about after this, but we'll get into that too. But the other thing that I wanted to talk about was we were talking about how the government like kind of inverts everything.
The Jew World Order. Go ahead. Jew World Order.
So the government can take anything like and make it bad, like charity. They turn in taxes. Oh, look, we're helping everyone, right? We're saving all these people. We're saving all these people with
women
with taxes, and we're going to take the taxes and help all these people.
Viruses and vaccines.
What they do is they are taking.
We're going to save everybody.
But they take your money and they don't help people. They take your money and hurt people. It's always inverse.
Rape and pillage. Obviously,
government flips everything upside down.
What was the freedom?
What do they try to do?
Right? The Restrict Act.
The Patriot Act.
Like it's all
for
bullshit.
Patriots. Right?
That's what I'm saying.
Inverse.
The Restrict Act. You don't want to restrict the Chinese, right?
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Yeah. It's a flipped upside down world, especially when it comes to the government. And then people want to keep giving government more power. Stop giving the government more power.
Who's the one culture that wins no matter what? Think about that. It should be as easy as mathematics and 2 + 2 is 4, not 5. Right? There's certain people that are kind of outside all this government politics, outside of this law, that seem to influence a lot of the movies, a lot of the banking regulations, a lot of the technology, a lot of the politicians in Washington.
Let me guess.
Even.
Can I guess?
Right?
What are you gonna say?
Go
are you
ahead
gonna
and
say
guess.
the
Go
Jews?
ahead and guess. I'll say it. The
Hold
fucking
on.
Jews,
But
man.
here's the thing, dude.
You know, fuck.
The
Jew
inverse
world
thing.
order.
The inversion of everything isn't
Satanic.
just. Yeah, well, I will say it's satanic. It's not
synagogue of Satan. Yeah.
Well, it's not just Jewish cult. It's not just Jewish paganism,
mainly
racism,
not only.
religion.
You're right. You're right. It's not only, but mainly. That's true.
I wish I could finish a statement. It's not just the Jewish religion that's inversing things like that. I've seen it in a ton of stuff on
Hindus, Muslims. Yeah, I've seen it too.
I've seen it with a ton of stuff that I've watched, like content-wise lately.
Who makes it?
Hold on, please calm down, dude. Can I finish a fucking sentence without you interrupting?
Go ahead.
Please,
you're cracking me up. Though.
That's
you're
great,
trying so
dude.
hard not to say it.
Okay,
what is the actual?
I think
fact?
you need to mute your mic for 1 minute. Let me finish a fucking statement.
But go ahead, man. That's just cracking me up, dude.
But I've seen a lot of
not to say it.
No, I'm just trying to talk. There's a ton of content I've seen recently where they have like different pagan religions, and they all do the same thing. There is no truth. Truth is lies. Lies are truth, basically. It's an inverse of reality. There is truth. The Bible is truth. This is truth. Everything else is lies. It's that simple. There's definite truth. It comes from God. Man lies. And more specifically, Satan makes man lie. So if you're following something that's inverse, say the government, or say Jewish religion or whatever, it's inverse of God. You see what I'm saying? Because it's all lies. It doesn't really matter. So the inverse of things, I completely agree with. It's just it's not just the Jewish religion. It's all religions
but they're
that are not Christian.
In it. My point is they should be included in it because any religion or government or idea that presents the adverse. No, you don't, but ChatGPT does, and a lot of the government politics and MS and mainstream media bullshit, they exclude that from the argument, which is the whole point. It is the only war is a holy war, good versus evil. And this is the whole point I have with all this immigration, all this fucking trans evil Baphomet bullshit. It only happens in Christian nations. You tell me one Islamic, one Hindu, one Buddhist area of the world or communist nation that is putting up with this shit, I'll change my mind. But 100%, it's all the Christian nations that are being invaded and told you have to worship Baphomet and his transgender agenda and sacrifice your children to Moloch Baal. This is the point it comes down to. The only war is a holy war, and that's what really faces, not World War III. It's the end of all times because this is what they're really trying to force, man. They want you to support people that shut down Orthodox churches in the Ukraine that have existed for thousands of years, and they got fucking evil ceremonies going on and fucking bloodbaths of children and, you know what I mean, biochemical labs that we fucking fund with our tax dollars in the United States to support the Ukraine war. You're crazy. Let alone 10% the big guy who's a fucking retard, doesn't even know where the fuck he's at, or no one understands what he's saying at this point. He speaks complete gibberish. It's not even a language. You know what I mean? How do you follow this shit and think that you're the enlightened people? You're the ones that are more knowing and more understanding of reality. You're delusional as fuck. And I think just like they're talking about these teachers in Florida that can't put their spouse's identity on their desk and speak about their weird transsexual fantasies or polytheism or whatever the fuck nonsense they believe in. It's simple as this. Stop hiring mentally deranged teachers. Maybe have some little test to see if they know who the fuck they are before they start teaching their children. If they don't know who they are, they shouldn't be teaching children. If they don't know up from down or right from left, why the fuck are they teaching children? This is a problem. This is the answer and the solution. Instead of saying, oh, they're banning books that are actually pornography to fucking minors. No, who are these teachers that are forcing this shit down these kids' throats? It should be that simple. As far as I'm concerned, let alone the Jewish world order and all the fucking violent hate crimes all over the world. We can get back to that, but
Well,
AI and the fucking government.
This is the inversion of everything by the government. You were talking about the teachers and all their stuff. There shouldn't be anyone teaching your kids. You know the teacher your kids are? The parents. I don't know where we decided to offload this shit onto the government.
Feminists, man.
No,
feminists.
But offloading it off to the government was industrialist. It was
really?
It was the
No, yes, it was. That happened the same time as feminism, right? The Industrial Revolution,
a little before,
World War II. But no, the whole thing happened. It was like a certain sliding effect, right? The men were at war in World War II, so they need the women for industry, right? That created the Industrial Revolution. That created feminism. It told men they're not in charge of families, and women need a job.
I have to stop you. Chronologically, everything you just said is not even accurate. You said World War II, the Industrial Revolution, and feminism. These are three separate time periods entirely in American history anyway.
Well, how far off from years?
They're many years off.
Not that far.
It is.
50, 60 years. Sure. Not more than 50, 60 years off.
The thing is, either way.
That's little in history. That's little in history, 50, 60 years. We're talking about, when they do carbon dating, how far is that off in dates? 10,000 plus years, 50,000 plus years? They don't have a clue. They're guessing.
100 million years. Carbon dating's nonsense. Right. I don't believe in any
Guess
of that.
out your ass. So we're talking about actually historically documented things that could be 50, 60 years off.
Well, I'm saying carbon dating.
They're not more than that.
I know, but it's completely chronologically not in the order you said. It's all that matters. It doesn't matter.
Well, break it down differently. Tell me, because it's all bullshit either way how you break it down.
Well, I was trying to tell you. Can I tell you about the inversion of everything by the government? Giving your kids over to the government has led to every one of these problems with the schools that we're talking about, because the schools are not the issue. The whole idea of the schools is the issue. It's not like you can not fix the schools. The government can't fix anything. In fact, the more things the government says they can fix, the more things they're going to fuck up. Okay, the federal government, especially a government that binds all these states together with different cultures, different borders, whatever you want to call it, right? They cannot fix things. All they're going to do is create new problems to create more government, like this whole Restrict Act, everything else. They're trying to create more government. It's self-perpetuating cycle of creating more and more government. What we need to do is stop. We need to stop contributing into this pile of money that they just spend at will, and we need to get back to a more local, a more controllable, a more culturally centered society where our state, or our area, even in our state, let's break it down like that.
Local area.
Like your county is probably similar culture.
Right, township or county, if you're not
whatever,
even incorporated,
whatever.
Right?
It's probably a similar culture, and that's where that's where all the rules should be made. All the restrictions on freedom, if there is any, should be made at a very local level. The farther up the totem pole we go, and this is where they're going full global government.
Yeah,
is even worse than the federal government. And the federal government fucks things up so bad. Wait till you see what they're going to do globally. They're going to really screw things up. And so someone needs to go in one of these AI things and figure out how to stop the New World Order. Maybe that's the key. Maybe that's the fucking AI.
Isn't that something Elon's trying to work on? Is like anti-woke AI or something. But, the whole thing is simple to me.
Though.
You've seen these predictions thousands of years ago, man. That's what cracks me up talking about people. 1998, this guy predicted this. Like, what are you talking about? That's not even old to me. And that prediction's been out for thousands of fucking years, dude. Protocols of Zion, all this shit, man. It's just so much out there, dude. Their agenda and their goal is so simple. All of their shit is bullshit. It is a holy war. That's it. It's good versus evil. And they can wrap it in any kind of pretty packages they want under statism or coexist or anti-hate or whatever bullshit. But, there's a reality here. Certain cultures are more productive. Certain cultures are less productive. Certain cultures pollute more than other cultures. And we need to stop targeting the cultures that are actually, like America, least polluting, least anti-cultural, and maybe start focusing on the ones that are very much so, like China, North Korea, or Saudi Arabia.
I mean,
but we ignore that.
Pollution?
Slave trade's okay for them. Slave trade's okay for them, man.
I don't think pollution,
because they're not America.
Okay, look, I'm all for
pollution.
Conserving your local.
Where's the
percentage?
percentages?
You're the one saying these things. Hold on, I'm saying
Go
conserving.
ahead. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're just okay. conserving the environment seems important to me. You know, not throwing plastics in the ocean seems important to me. Pollution to me in the West especially has become this whole thing of this carbon footprint shit. I'm trying to make
it's a religion.
It is. It's another religion. I'm trying to make my carbon footprint bigger, man. I'm trying to save the planet, get the trees to grow a little bit bigger. I don't know what the hell they're trying to do.
We're having more children, man. That's how I look at that. Your carbon footprint's improving because you're having children.
I'm trying to have my 5th child now, so yeah.
It's great.
No,
that's the biggest positive
even beyond
impact,
that,
right?
For sure. No, for sure.
No, but
God said, "Go forth and be fruitful." That's creating more carbon footprint for these idiots, right? For sure. And creating a like CO2 is what we breathe out, right? Is that correct?
And be prosperous.
That's what we breathe out, right? Yeah. No, well, is it go? Okay. Anyhow,
CO2.
CO2 is what we breathe out, right?
Carbon monoxide
or carbon dioxide, I think.
Well, it's a balance, man. This is what's so weird. They don't understand.
Plants
the balance is so simple with the percentages.
But if you lower it
it's
slightly,
a delicate thing.
So, like in the 90s, we were at 0.03. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right now we're at
0.04 now.
We're at 0.04,
04,
but
right?
at 0.02, all plant life dies on the earth, and we almost got there.
Yeah, we're trying hard to kill everything off.
It's crazy, dude. These people don't understand.
And
it's Earth Day, and they're still trying to kill the whole planet with lowering the carbon footprint, man. They don't care about
Why
real
do you
pollution.
think AI tells the people to kill themselves? You are the carbon footprint,
you're
right?
The carbon footprint,
like that's the fact of it. It's that simple.
Well, who's controlling
Don't believe the government. Don't believe the machines. Believe faith in God, or fucking. I don't even know what to tell you at this point. It's basically believe in God or perish. Like the fence riders are done, if not now, soon. This is really coming to times, maybe not biblical revelations, which it could be, but I'm just saying, reality, it is the fence riders are done. You either want evil to exist in this world, and you're protecting all the evil proponents, whether it be Jewish, black, whatever the fuck, doesn't matter. Whatever the evil may be,
you're mention it, like just in case it's like these two things. Like, can it just be evil in general? Like,
I don't know. It'd be great if it could be. You tell me, man. I'm not the one out there doing all these crimes.
Has anything to do with evil.
I'm not going out. Oh well, hey, man. I'm not the one going out there.
I don't think so.
Look, Mr. Bryson and Silver Fox both. I'm going to just tell you, look, I don't see groups of white women or men rounding up a single black male or female and beating the shit out of them. Okay. If I did, I think I might hear your voice.
I got you.
Yeah, maybe somewhere. Do you see it on a fucking daily basis worldwide at least once?
Why you're seeing it on a daily basis has a lot to do with the
people
you're following. Because it happens
every fucking day.
Okay, no, hold on. Let me get into this. Hold on.
All the time. Okay. I agree in a sense, but this is recent fucking events.
Here's the thing. I also want to talk about, and it has to do with AI and exactly what we're talking about.
Right. Ignore Whitey's slide. Avoid Christian shit. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. It's not in the news.
Hold on. What?
No. This
Can I
every
talk
time
about this? Hold on. Can
the shooter. Let me
second?
just finish, and I will. Let me finish real quick, and I will. Every time the shooter is a white man, they fucking promote it right away. Every time it's a minority, trans, pronoun, fucking blackity black, they just say people or suspect. They don't put a picture next to it. It's that simple. It doesn't fit their agenda. Go ahead, please, because I'm done.
Okay. I hope I have the microphone for a minute. I agree that when the news sees a situation that's not favorable to their diversity, equity, nonsense, bullshit agenda, they go ahead and silence it. When there was that person who plowed through a parade, they completely blamed it on SUV. When there was a trans shooter that shot up a Christian school, they blamed it on that gun. I completely agree with your premise. But I also see...
I'm saying.
Oh, all right. I also see that an echo chamber exists in not just the internet now, but in the future, it's going to be even worse because everyone.
Also, reality.
Hold on, dude. Hold on, please.
Sorry.
In the future, everyone's going to not only have been using AI. I think everyone's going to have their own custom AI directly working for them. Their custom AI is going to be a super crazy echo chamber, in my opinion. The echo chamber is going to get. Hold on, please.
Yeah.
In the future, you're going to have an AI that's all your preferences, all your sliders are going to be set,
world.
and it's going to be able to set up all your stuff in your direction. It's going to repeat back to you the things that you want it to. It's going to tell you you're right, and it's going to cause everyone to have like a celebrity complex, basically, where they think they're the most important thing, and everything they say is right, and everything everyone else says is wrong, and it's going to cause infinite problems. Not only that, but the AI is going to allow people to create even crazier crimes, do worse crimes. They're going to use it for evil.
Obviously.
And AI is not just dangerous for jobs or all this other reasons. I'm not saying technology is evil, by the way. Technology is good and evil. It's just exists. You can use it for good. You can use it for evil. There's ways to use AI to spread Christianity across the planet.
Also, right? It says that biblically.
People
Satan
use it for
knows
evil.
the Bible front to back.
Exactly.
Right? He will use and manipulate that. Right?
Basically.
No, exactly.
The Word of God.
But what I'm saying is, when does it switch from anti-Christian to anti-Jew? Will it ever? I don't think it will.
When can you make your own AI?
By Jews.
That's all you're trying to
I think it's programmed by Jews and it's protected by Jews, so it's not going to ever say anti-Jew.
I do think...
We tested earlier, right? None of that shit said anti-Israel. Okay. They deflected the fuck out of it. You can't deny it.
GPT.
You can't deny it.
I can deny this. Look, ChatGPT might be controlled by the 13 families or whatever. I mean, I'm sure many of them... I know, but I'm sure...
It's a Jew.
I know, you already cleared that up, dude, like 45 times.
It's a Jew.
The 13 families, you said they're all Jewish anyway, so I don't know why you got to clarify when I say the 13 families.
Hey, if they're running it, they're running it.
Okay, so anyhow, I'm sure that all these AIs will be controlled by the elites. And when I say the elites, I am talking about the families.
None of them are pro-white.
They're going to be families that, the families that control the world. The globalists are going to control the AIs that initially come out. But
Rothschild, Rockefellers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, Rothschild, Rockefellers, the
were
Bill Gates,
Jewish families
what's their
in
family?
Germany.
They're Rockefeller's family.
Rothschild was originally Red Shields that were in Germany. Jews persecuted, so they fled and changed their name to Rothschilds. And they split their name again. I think it's Oseles or something. They're one of the three families.
Okay, yeah.
Period.
There's families.
Anyway.
The royal family is involved. Obviously, I mean, you get what Buckingham Palace is right in the middle of it too. But the whole
they're
thing.
They're never going to be pro-Christian. They can't be.
I know, and I'm trying to get past that. We agree on this that they're never going to be pro-Christian, pro-Jesus. That's against everything they want. They don't want people free. They want everyone enslaved to Satan. I agree. But there will be AIs that come out that will be fully customizable. Someone will hack them, get them customizable. Everyone will have their own AI. I don't think there's going to be a monopoly on the AIs. I think it's going to be a free-for-all on AIs. And you already see it right now. There's tons of AIs.
It's like
there's
Windows?
No, it's...
Where they got Ubuntu and shit like that.
Yes.
That's free, open source.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Exactly.
No,
that's
this is what I want to break
it
it down to common men that maybe don't understand what you're saying exactly. Because I'm
sorry.
I myself am more common man. I don't understand all the technological shit that you do.
Yeah, my tech
I'm glad you do.
About that.
But I mean, there's maybe a lot of people don't even understand what I'm saying with
operating
Ubuntu.
systems.
You know what I mean? I'm glad you've told me about this in the past to even break it over open source, free source, unhackable shit or harder to hack because it's not the main one or two.
Well, it doesn't mean that. No, it doesn't mean that. Open source.
No, but,
hold on.
But hackable shit is mostly...
Open source means anyone. The code is open.
Free.
No, you can get to the code.
Free.
The code is not proprietary. It's not.
You don't have to be a Jew or a Satanist.
It's not owned by someone, so you have access to the code. And OpenAI was actually supposed to be open. That's when Elon invested in it. It was. Now it's owned by Microsoft. Windows creator.
Well, one of them.
Well, no, I'm saying that's the one.
There's many out there.
I know, but that's the big one. That's
ChatGPT is Microsoft.
OpenAI, yes.
Is that what you're talking about?
They bought them
because I don't know personally. ChatGPT is Microsoft. I don't know.
And all the things that come off ChatGPT, all those are actually Microsoft.
So the Jewish 666, the adrenochrome shit, all the Microsoft shit. If you looked into your own fucking information, depopulation, you'll see it's all in there. But
if we do a really good job with reproductive health and vaccines, we can reduce the world's population by 40%. That guy, yes.
At least
40%. But yes. Yeah. That guy is in charge of the best AI in the world right now. But I do think I'm hopeful, and I do think it will happen, that tons of AIs will break away from this and be open source and be accessible for anyone, and people will customize it. And it does sound good, but at the same time, it will be an echo chamber, I believe. That's all I wanted to get at. Go ahead.
That's my question with that. Yeah. how useful do you think that will be to have echo chamber of infinite
I don't think
AIs that are slightly programmable?
I don't think it's going to be
No, because
necessarily
I
good.
think
I don't
it's
know,
all
man.
evil.
That's not going to be good. I don't think it's going to be good,
it's
man.
evil.
I don't know what's going to
No,
be.
I
It
don't
doesn't
either.
sound good, man. But either way, I think
it's basically this. You know what I want to say real quick? I think it's a perfect legal defense to all the evil that goes on in the world, because it finds an excuse for you legally or technically for whatever you do. Instead of holding you up to biblical terms and morality, it's going to find a legal excuse to get away with any crime or murder or anything you fucking do. And the UN's already saying that grown men can rape children. California passed their law on it. It's only a step away from Chat GPT or whatever the fuck the future AI is to say, look, I'm Jewish. Send him back to Israel. I avoid all crimes, which is an actual legal thing without ChatGPT, but for the common man, it'll be a thing, right?
Well, it's going to be more
I'm
than
black. Give me reparations. I need $3 million. I don't care if I killed your whole family. I'm black. I was a slave 300 years ago, even though I wasn't. I actually owned slaves. I'm black now. Give me $3 million because I murdered your whole family. That's, I think, the future and the problem.
Yeah, personally. You can identify as black, by the way, in San Francisco, but you just had to do it earlier. So
that's
just so
fine.
other people know.
I'll send my papers to San Francisco. I'd like my $3 million in reparations, please. I'm an Irish reparationist. I think that Irish people have been actually persecuted in reality and not just delusional fucking bullshit. If you're giving reparations out, I want the white Americans that fought for slavery or the Irish people that were slaves more often than blacks because they were cheaper slaves than blacks. Just saying.
Yeah, so I wanted to talk about what you just said, and I'm going to close off after that. I think if you have anything else to add, you can go ahead and do that. But you said that AI is going to allow people to commit all crimes and get away with it. And I completely agree. Yes. And the reason why isn't even just because it'll provide legal counsel that would tell them how to get away with it, but because of deep fakes. They will not be able to use any video, any audio.
And judges.
Any evidence, basically, will be inadmissible because you could say it's fake. And there's, even if it's completely real, the fact that it could be fake is enough to be thrown out of court. So that's
legally,
what I think.
So legally, it's actually going to come down to if you have 3 or more witnesses, physical witnesses, right?
It's biblical, man.
Because even if you did not commit a crime legally in this United States, even if you can prove yourself innocent, if you have 3 witnesses that prove themselves against you, and you do not have a jury of your peers that denounce it, you go with the judge's fucking preference. He is 100% going to say, yes, that mob of 20 black people that beat the shit out of you and killed your child are innocent because you're a white, and they have 3 people that said you're guilty of saying a word that hurt their fucking feelings and ruffled their feathers.
Well, it depends who
Jew world order, son. Jew world order.
Depends who appoints the judges, I guess.
Right?
Soros?
Hey, as long as we keep letting these ex-Nazis like the Soros, who helped round up his own people on papers, admitted to that was the happiest moments of his life when he rounded up his own Jewish family and got them killed by Nazis. You look in the interviews.
He didn't say his family, the other people, though. But
his Jewish community. He was his happiest moments when he was able to round them up with the Nazis.
No, for sure. No, I completely agree with what you're saying, except for the fact that he's part of this Jewish tribe in his mind. You know what I mean? Not everyone's tribal is what I'm getting at. I doubt he considers himself Jewish unless it matters. And
all
gets away with
the ones
something.
at the top are tribal.
Yeah, well, I'm not.
No, if you're at the top, you're not tribal. You're not going to stay at the top.
I'm never near.
Well, I'm not at the top either. But you know what I'm saying?
I'm staying right here, Drake. Oh, did you hear that real quick?
Real quick. Go ahead.
There was a Drake song that was put out by AI, and people thought it was real.
Oh, Drake?
No, I'm saying people thought it was real, and they were like, "This song's so good," but AI made it. But anyhow, let's end
but go ahead.
on that. I gotta get going. I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast today.
How about these bald head hoes? I heard some bitch talking in Congress. Bald head hoes. That's a good song. Look at that one.
All right, guys. Well, we'll take care. We'll catch you guys next week. I'm glad we were able to do this today.
Yes, sir.
You have anything else to add?
Then.
Peace out.
No, man. See you then. All right.
The Unfiltered Godcast. You can find us on Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcast. Also on YouTube and video platforms. That's Unfiltered Godcast. Unfiltered Godcast.
Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed the show at all. Thank you.
Appreciate it.